What's up everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So Jenelle Evans is now releasing a 10-part kind of mockumentary about her time away from David when she, picked up the kids and moved to Tennessee. So of course, I'm gonna be recapping each episode with you guys, starting with episode 1, which debuted on her YouTube channel last night. So much for that TV network deal, right, that she was promoting. So at the very beginning of it, she says that a big reason why she kind of got tired of her marriage to David was because they kept fighting nonstop in front of the kids, which doesn't surprise anybody because we watched them on Teen Mom 2, and then of course the 24 or 25 different 911 calls that were placed within the span of a year. So I found it kind of funny the way that she casually explained leaving this guy, right? So she's like, it all kind of happened when I went to New York City last year after getting dropped from MTV to meet with television agents, and so this one in particular, these few in particular I met were from Nashville, Tennessee, and so they asked me how happy are you in your life? How happy are you in your marriage? And then Jenelle says that she told them, listen, I'm not happy at all. And so they were like, well, you could always move to Nashville, Tennessee and try to break into the market over there. We could see if we can get you some jobs. And so Jenelle basically on the spot was like, sure, why not? I've got all these kids, it would disrupt all their lives. I've got a whole husband, but why not try to chase my TV dreams in Nashville, Tennessee? And so she literally did not even talk to David about it. She just pulled the kids out of daycare and school and bounced because she thought, and I quote, it might be cool to be single for a bit. This girl was really never ready to be married. To just think like that on a whim is quite telling in my opinion. So when she's kind of thinking back on it, she says that she does actually regret shocking David like that. He went to daycare to pick up his daughter, thinking that she would be there, and then finding out that Jenelle had checked her out of the daycare. That is very cold-blooded. And that's not me defending David. I think David deserves whatever he gets out of life. So after that, she shows us a random video of her, Kaiser, Ensley, Jace, and even Barbara in the parking garage of a hotel that she had rented for a little bit in Nashville, Tennessee for her escape from David and attempt to break into reality television on that side of the woods. And then there's some people from the Tennessee place, the Tennessee management team or whatever, who were filming, and another one who was carrying one of her kids as well. It was really bizarre to me that she was just filming her running away from her husband and kidnapping their kid it was some casual everyday thing. And I think the fact that this Nashville company kind of just casually filmed it all, this illegal activity, speaks to how unprofessional they are, right? Because if you recall, a couple seasons back on Teen Mom 2, before they got fired, when Jenelle and David tried to kidnap Jace, the production company stood in front of the car and refused to let them go, and then they had to call the police, if they would have actually left the premises with Jace, knowing that they didn't have custody of him. So obviously Jenelle and David both have custody of Ensley, but at that point she was kind of parental kidnapping, if you ask me, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comment section if I am wrong. So then they get into the hotel room and David texts Jenelle saying, listen, you must have done something that you're really ashamed of if you are not coming back home. And she's like, he probably thinks I'm with someone else, but that's not the case. I'm just tired of all of the fighting. And she talks about how in text messages he's really nice, asking her to come back home, telling her that he loves her, but on social media he is slamming her. He was calling her a horrible mom to even his own daughter Marissa, a horrible stepmom, horrible mom. I think he even made fun of her body, and he just really kept hitting below the belt when it came to her. He claimed that he never loved her, all sorts of really nasty stuff. And so Barbara, who's there, remember, she's like, oh my god, it's about time. She's so happy. She's like, listen, Jenelle has always been a fun loving girl. She would always be out, love to dance and just have a good time, and David kind of stripped that away from her. He moved her to the middle of nowhere, she's so secluded, away from everybody, no family, no friends. So I think that it's about time that she kind of got her life back. And then Jenelle agrees and says that even when she tells David that she wants to hang out with her friends, have a girls' night, and for him to hang out with his friends, he never would want to do that. He'd always tell her, no, I only want to hang out with you. And then she also complains about how whenever they would go on vacation with the kids, he was the one who was always in a bad mood, just bringing down the general atmosphere of everything for everybody around. And she also talks about how she accidentally took his anxiety medication on the run with her, but was like, why is he bitching to me about that. Why doesn't he just go get a refill, get some new pills? And I was like, oh, is that what we're doing out here? So Barbara also complained about losing her MTV job. Barbara, I swear to God, is so attached to the Teen Mom 2 job, because in Jenelle's first mockumentary, she was doing the same, like complaining about how she lost her job because of David, and how, like, you know, other people are doing worse things and they're still on there, and she in particular, not even Jenelle, she's like, screw this chick, I didn't deserve to lose my job, I didn't do nothing wrong. So here she is at that point again. She's like, it's not just Jenelle who lost her job, I lost my job on Teen Mom 2 as well. But this is the point where Jenelle kind of butts in and says, you know, but that's not like the main reason why I left him. Like, we got fired, I got fired in April, here we are in October, so I gave him months to correct his behavior and change, but he just never did. And at this point, I am fed up. It is, yes, partly because of that MTV job being lost. It's also because of all the CPS mess that, like, you know, we were put through, and just the general fighting as well. But then in her voiceover, her narrative, like sitting down, talking head, like what I'm doing here, which was filmed recently, she claimed that there was never any domestic violence in the relationship and that it had nothing to do with her leaving. But that's not true, because around this time she filed a restraining order against David, alleging multiple instances of domestic violence. You know, she claimed to be afraid for her life, her own kid's life, and it's not even just domestic violence that she accused David of. She also accused him of child abuse. Remember locking Kaiser in a running car and everything, and all sorts of other stuff as well. So this is why I always call them mockumentaries. Like, you can always clock Jenelle in a lie of some sort whenever she opens her damn mouth. And these receipts are receipts that she put out there. She is the one who filed for this restraining order accusing David of the domestic violence that she's now claiming never occurred in their marriage. Anyway, you guys, episode 1 of the mockumentary does end there. So of course, that's all I've got to say about it. So as usual, make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and we'll chat. And I'll also see you next week for episode 2 as well. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.